What's up guys, Thomas Alex Norman here, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how I shoot epic landscape B-roll. So this is maybe when you're out on a hike, or you're just exploring some nature, or even if you're in a city and you come across an amazing view. Something like that, and you see a nice cliff, you see some sea, you maybe see like a city skyscape, whatever it is, and you want to capture it. We're going to be getting into how not to do this, and then we're going to give a demonstration also of how to exactly do that, and then you'll see the end sequence that I'll shoot, so make sure you stick to the end for that. First, I have a gear list. If you guys don't know, click down below to download that. That will be a whole list of my gear, so you can see exactly what I use and also what I recommend to beginners. And also, if you like this kind of video, please give it a like, give it a share, give it a thumbs up, comment down below on what you would like more topics to be, or what you think of this one. Fly on the lens. So number one, first up, is exactly how not to do this. Number one is do not just point and shoot without really looking. So you might think, wow, amazing view, record, and you're kind of, you just like maybe focus in on stuff that you think is cool, and then that's it. Really don't do that, because you're not putting any thought or creativeness into the shots that you're getting. Number two, not to do, is panning. In general, what people will do when they see an amazing view is you want to get it all in. So what do? Your camera probably isn't really wide lens, or even if it is, you might not get everything in. So if you're just like this, I mean, this is the widest my camera can go. So maybe if I was starting out, I would just literally do a pan like this and try and get everything in. Number three, not to do, is just getting one shot. This is one of the biggest mistakes, is that you have a viewpoint and you will just get one shot of it. And most likely you won't get everything in. And number two, you're not taking the audience with you anywhere. You're just saying, bam, look at this, and that's it. You're not guiding the audience through what you're seeing. You're not showing them how you feel. You're not showing them your perspective. And it's very hard to do that just through one shot. So this brings us on to today's demonstration and the actual points that we're going to be covering. Number one is observe. So the first thing you're going to do before putting your camera up, this is for your own wellness as well as your filmmaking. If you see a viewpoint and the first thing you do is, wow, look at that, and you just experience everything and see everything through your lens, number one, you're not actually experiencing that view for yourself. So take a moment to just breathe it in and actually see it with your own eyes. The other thing is this actually has a big filmmaking advantage, because when you're actually looking around, you're seeing what makes you feel. You know, this is really important. You go up to this viewpoint, and rather than just thinking point and shoot, you're saying, okay, what are the elements here that actually make me feel something? What are the elements that I really appreciate? What is amazing about this view right now? And for me, maybe that might be something like these pine leaves here. You know, this isn't the actual shot, I'm just showing you guys. It's these pine leaves here, they're kind of like blowing slightly in the wind, and it's kind of like the smell of pine is always like quite evocative for me. It's the waves crashing on these rocks down here, that's probably something to pay attention to. Maybe if I can get some of these birds flying across, that always makes it feel like how big the landscape is. And also just the horizon here is a really nice color. So that I've already picked out like 4 elements that maybe if I just got one big shot, the viewer won't see them. The viewer won't be able to come with me through that journey. So first thing is observe. Second thing is when you're getting your shots, you want to be using foreground background elements, especially in a big viewpoint landscape shot. So what this means is, rather than just, for example, what the shot I have right now is all background. That is all, there's nothing in the foreground really. But as soon as I put, for example, this tree in the foreground, you know, maybe it's slightly blurred out, maybe not, but as soon as I do something like that, it gives the shot a slight depth. And this really links to the next point that I'm just about to get onto. I'll give you another example here. So what I can do with these leaves right here is kind of use them as something to be in the foreground as well. And then you can see the background very clearly from there. And it kind of gives this feeling of, oh, I'm actually here. As soon as you include foreground elements, it kind of feels like, oh, I'm actually here watching this view, because there are things in the foreground in front of my viewpoint, and there's the background. It kind of puts the people in this viewpoint. It kind of puts them in your shoes as the filmmaker, rather than just showing them a background. Point number 3 is using movement. Now this links to the foreground element really easily, because you can play with the movement between the foreground and the background. And this is where I'm going to start my demonstration. So for example, I can have these pine leaves here. I really want to draw the viewer's attention to these. So what I can do is maybe use 3 elements. I've got the tree trunk in the foreground, and then I'm focused on the pine leaves, but then the pine leaves become the foreground, and then you've got the sea going on in the background there. So all of a sudden, by moving left to right, using the foreground and background, we've got a really nice shot. Maybe it's kind of a reveal shot as well. I don't want to play with the exposure too much. And we're revealing out from the tree. Make sure the horizons are straight. We're revealing out from the tree to the leaves. And that's a really nice shot, including 2 elements, both the leaves and that really nice sunset that I wanted to draw the audience's attention to when I was breathing this scene all in. So this brings us on to point number 4, which is linking your shots together. And that's exactly what I just did. So we've got this shot that I just showed you guys of the pine needles and then the sunset. That links the pine needles to the sunset, which gives me a very nice excuse to get another shot, maybe just of the sunset that I can link together. Just giving the audience a complete, just flat shot there. What I can also do is go down here, get some of this grass, as I talked about before, in the foreground whilst we're showing this sunset here. That to me is a nice shot because right in the middle there isn't any grass. So it kind of draws the audience's eye to the middle. And maybe I could try and experiment with like moving, almost as if I'm like moving through the grass. Try not to fall off the edge of the cliff there. All right, what more have we got? We said we wanted to draw attention to the waves smashing on the rocks here as well. What I like to do here, especially with wave shots, I don't know why, but I like to try and make them a bit trippy. So I really like, maybe I saw it in a film once, I don't know. But I really like to kind of, as the wave crashes, move the camera around. And I might put this one in slow motion as well to kind of make it a bit more trippy. And just kind of move it around. Boom, that looks nice. Really, really cool. Wait for another wave. Maybe I'll get some foreground going on as well. That'll look really, really nice, I think. And then the final thing, I'm gonna see if I can get these birds. This is where I wish I had a longer lens, but the birds are flying right now. And usually, even if a bird's right in the distance, if you follow it and keep it right in the middle of the frame, it will attract the audience's attention to it. As long as you're really kind of tracking it. It doesn't matter if you're kind of zoomed out like I am right now. As long as you find one really to put in the middle of the frame. Look, I got one there. And you follow its movement. That will usually be enough to kind of get the audience's attention on it. The light's catching this tree here pretty nice too. I've already got the shots of the pine leaves, so this might be a good one to link to that. I don't really know what that camera movement was right then. It was kind of a twisty left to right. These shots with a low aperture and a low depth of field really make it seem like you're kind of touching it. It kind of gives all the texture. Just seen 2 birds flying over here. That might be enough. Beautiful. All right, so when we edit all those shots together, what we'll get, hopefully, is something that really makes you feel like you've been here on this cliffside with me. That's the ideal. That's what you want to give to your audience as a filmmaker. You want to show them exactly what your experience of this is through your films. So here are the shots all together. right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. As I said, the gear list is in the description below. Go ahead and download that if you want the list of gear, as well as tips and tricks to help you out on your filmmaking journey as you progress from beginner to pro. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, share this with your loved ones, and I'll see you next time. Keep filming. Bye-bye.